the man never expected. In this world where magic reigns supreme, a worthless man with no magical talent actually took the swordsmanship everyone despised and trained it to perfection. Watching Jack's absurdly fast reaction speed and terrifying strength far beyond his own, this made Daniel regret his past actions even more, only because Jack had never shown such power before. Being unable to use magic, he was known throughout the academy as a useless failure. Though he had theoretical knowledge, he couldn't even cast the most basic fire spell. Yet when faced with the laughter of the whole class, Teacher Edward not only failed to stop it, but even scolded Jack for disgracing the academy. And Daniel, being the troublemaker of the class, cast a high-level spell across the room, completely trampling Jack's dignity underfoot. For this, Teacher Edward did not scold him. He even used Jack as a negative example to warn the entire class. In this world, magic is absolute, magic is authority, magical power is strength, and magisters are heroes. Someone like Jack, who only has knowledge, but cannot use magic, is a failure. He doesn't deserve to be in this academy at all. Soon, class time ended. Facing the teacher's merciless humiliation, Jack had long grown accustomed to it, but even during the break, Daniel, who always disliked Jack, still didn't plan to let him go. Fortunately, at that moment, a girl named Emma rushed over. As Jack's friend, she bluntly said Daniel was just scum who bullied classmates, and faced with Emma, the top student's rebuke. Daniel, who always bullied the weak but feared the strong, said nothing more. He only left with a gloomy face, and Jack looked at the distant sky inside. Today's sky is beautiful too. Emma agreed with this. That giant pillar standing in the center of the world was created by the strongest magisters, the Supreme Five Staffs. It is said that long ago, the world was threatened by invaders from the sky. It was 5 powerful magisters who stood up. They expelled the invaders, and placed a seal upon the sky, to protect the people on the ground. From then on, the title of Supreme Five Staffs was passed down, and became the highest honor of a magician. And Jack's childhood friend was the inheritor of one of the 5 staffs, the Ice Princess staff. The two had promised since childhood to become Supreme Five Staffs together. However, unlike Jack, the powerless failure, his childhood friend had extraordinary magical talent, and in just a few years, she became one of the youngest 5 staffs in history. But Jack did not give up because of this. He kept moving toward the goal of becoming one of the Supreme Five Staffs. Although he could not use magic, whenever Jack had free time, he would go to the dungeon to hunt monsters, to earn credits this way. His mentor Michael strongly opposed this when he found out. After all, soloing a dungeon was too dangerous. One day Jack would pay the price for it. After all, to become one of the 5 staffs, Jack first had to advance to the upper academy. For that, he needed a large number of subject and practical credits. But Jack, who couldn't use magic, could never earn practical credits no matter what. However, that wasn't the main issue now, because Jack had also failed last week's exam. To avoid being expelled from the academy, he had to earn 4 credits within 2 days. Jack panicked immediately upon hearing this. Only 2 days remained. He had to quickly find a monster worth 4 credits. Seeing him flustered, Michael suggested Jack go to the 6th floor of the dungeon, where venomous spiders seemed to appear. Jack was very grateful to his mentor Michael for this. This was exactly the monster worth 4 credits that he needed. These words, however, were overheard by Daniel outside the door. He decided to kill Jack before Jack could act. That way he could take the chance to drive Jack away. At the same time, he brought 2 lackeys along for support, but he clearly overestimated himself. At the moment the monster appeared, one of his lackeys was punched into the wall. The sudden attack made the other scream in terror. Nearby, Jack also heard the scream, so he immediately ran over. However, he did not strike right away. Instead, he hid to observe for a while. Daniel frantically attacked with fire magic, but it could not harm the monster at all. Jack instantly recognized it. The monster turned out to be a dark sentinel worth 10 divide. Normally, such a monster should be deeper underground, but now was not the time to question why. Seeing Daniel about to be brutally killed, Jack hesitated whether to save him. After all, Daniel had humiliated him countless times at school. Even if Jack ran away now, it would be fine. But at that moment, his childhood friend's words suddenly echoed in his mind.
知ってるよ。見るは優しくて誰よりも勇気があるんだって。
君の隣に立ちたいだけの君にふさわしい僕になりたいだけのただのみっともないやつなんだ。
Meanwhile, Edward found Michael. He had just heard that Daniel had gone into the dungeon without permission, so he hoped Michael would send a contracted beast to search for him. But when Michael learned it was the 6th floor, he reassured Edward because Jack was there at that moment. Then he used a crystal ball to reveal Jack's location. The exaggerated battle left Daniel kneeling in shock. He couldn't believe it. The man fighting evenly with a high-level monster was the same useless failure who couldn't even use magic. Even more shocked than Daniel was his mentor Edward. He questioned Michael. What was going on? Michael explained. Jack was an anomaly among magisters. He possessed superhuman brute strength. That power was as resilient as the dwarves. And once he saw an attack, he could easily predict the enemy's next move.
見た。
確かにウィルは一切の魔法が使えない。しかし彼はこの魔法世界の中で唯一の戦士。その斬撃は雷をもしのぐ。
怪我大丈夫
？Edward witnessed it all. He could not believe there was someone without magic, yet surpassing magic itself. Unable to accept it, he left in anger. The next day Jack submitted the skull of the Dark Sentinel, finally earning the last credits he needed. Next, he continued to set his childhood friend as his goal, and once again moved toward that distant dream.